Hey, boys and girls, it's Miss Redden here. I wanted to bring to you the new segment that we're going to be doing. It's called Reading with Redden. So today we're going to start reading a new story, and I kind of want to introduce it to you before I go into reading it. But each day I'll add a little more to the story, and it'll give you something to do at home with your families. You can talk about the story, compare it to the movie that there actually is right now. But it have a lot of good discussion questions that you can have, think about some things. But it's just kind of bringing a little bit of the library to you because right now libraries really aren't open. And unless you have like a big book collection, it may be difficult for you to read chapter books during this time of school closure. So the book that we're going to read, you may have heard of it. It's called Wonder, and it's by R.J. Palacio, and it's actually been made into a movie. So right now I'm going to read to you a little bit about the author and who she is. And then later on, you'll get to hear some of the story. And each day, like I said, we'll read the story and I'll add more to it. And you'll get to learn and have fun with your families. So R.J. Palacio lives in New York City with her husband, two sons, and two dogs. For more than 20 years, she was an editorial director, an art director, and a graphic designer working on books for other people while waiting for the perfect time in her life to start writing her own novel. But one day, several years ago, a chance encounter with an extraordinary child in front of an ice cream store made RJ realize that the perfect time to write that book had finally come. Wonder is her first novel. She did not design the cover, but she sure does love it. So let's look at that cover. So while you're at home, think about it. What is interesting about this cover? What are you thinking? What are you thinking about the story? What do you think may be happening in this story? What kind of catches your eye, makes you want to open the book and read it? And then I'll do a little bit background about the story. So August Augie Pullman was born with a facial difference that prevented him from going to a mainstream school until now. He's about to enter fifth grade at Beecher Prep, and if you've ever been the new kid, then you know how hard that can be. The thing is, Augie's just an ordinary kid with an extraordinary face. But can he convince his new classmates that he's just like them, despite appearances? R.J. Palacio has written a modern classic, a funny, uplifting, and incredibly moving novel to read in one sitting, pass on to others, and remember long after the final page. So we're not going to read it in one sitting, but we are going to pass it along to others because I'm going to read it to you while you're home, and hopefully you'll get to enjoy this with your family. Once again, this is going to be called Reading with Redden, and each day I'll add a little bit more to the story with the read aloud, along with some discussion questions that you can have at home with your families, and hopefully spark some good discussion. And then once the book is over, you'll get to see the story, and get to see the movie. And then you can kind of compare the two and see what the differences are, what the similarities are. If you like the movie more than the book, if the book had more information than the movie may have had. But hopefully it'll give you some good conversation starters with your family and something to do while we're at home right now.